Amazing. So will you ever marry again?
I'm sorry, you asked me, will I ever marry again?
Yes.
Highly unlikely.
And why is that?
Too much drama. These women today they're just crazy.
Amazing. But they need men. That's why they're crazy.
Well, I agree with you right there, but it's too much of a gamble. You don't know what you're going to get, and then they can divorce you and take half of everything you have. I own my own land. I own my own house. I don't want to part with any of that.
Amazing. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate your jokes.
All right. You have a good weekend.
You too, Cameron. Have a good one. Amazing. So what do you guys think about that? You don't want to get married because the rules been against the men, and they may, the women may take your land and all that because they're so crazy. Well, what do you think about that statement?
Well, you definitely shouldn't marry them until they've overcome, but like you say, they definitely need somebody there that's going to love them properly to help them overcome. Because, yeah, they're in that fallen state, but, you know, if there's no one there that's literally, you know, being there like a father would, then they're just going to stay how they are.
You own a lot of stuff, and if a woman marry you, she's going to walk away wealthy. Would you still get married, or you're not going to marry because of what you own?
No, I mean, I wouldn't get married to her if she was that type of person, at least if I...
But you don't know that.
You do know it because you would hope that you would get married to a person once you realize that she's in a certain place.
Where in a certain place?
To where you can trust her. If there's no trust...
But you won't know that for 50 years.
I mean, I feel like you can know enough to say, okay, I'm going to marry this one.
Amazing.
But I don't think that you could marry somebody and then she switch up that much if you're awake. I don't think that's possible.
How about you, Chris? Would you, if you own a lot of stuff, land and quote unquote successful, would you get married?
Yeah.
If you owned it first?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just part of the... I mean, it's never going to get better unless, you know, we vet women, lead them, you know, marry and have children.
Would you like to be married one day and have children?
Yeah.
And so are you going to do that thing where you write up an agreement, if we divorce, you're not going to get any of my stuff I had before you marry? What do you call that?
Prenup?
Prenup, yeah.
Prenuptial?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not
you would
getting
do one of those?
They're not getting any of my stuff.
So I held hate over for a minute because I wanted to ask him about, I got to ask Nick. You should have heard what Nick said. What the? My experts, of course, I asked the guys would they sign a prenuptial. If you were to get married, would you sign because you own a lot of material things as well.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you already own it and you're still young, if you got married, would you have her sign a prenuptial?
I don't know. I don't know. I might. But I don't know. What you looking at? Why are you looking at me like I'm looking crazy?
So, you don't know.
I don't know.
I guess you don't know what would determine if you should do it or not. Nick, come here for a minute if you don't mind. If you're not busy out there.
He's not.
So, Chris, you say you would sign one or what not?
Yeah, absolutely. They're not getting my stuff.
Oh, you would definitely have a sign one?
No, I'm just kidding. My vetting process would be so strict and in such a way that divorce would not even be fathomable.
What do you mean by that? You sound like a slave husband.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Good husband, slave master?
Yeah, that's a good...
interchangeable.
That's a pretty good analogy, actually, Jesse. So, ladies. Yeah.
Why does he always do this?
What? This?
Oh, I just...
Yeah.
Because I like it like
We
this.
always have to
You
fix
like
it.
it like that. I like it like this.
I don't like it
That's
like
right.
this. This
Don't
is how
tell me
it's
how to
supposed to
live.
be. This is how Joel
No.
puts it. He's
No,
the
no, no.
manager.
No. This is my mic. That's your mic.
I know, but every hake news, I have to fix it back to
Fix
a
it and
certain
you put
way.
it back.
Nick is in this square.
Crazy.
James is in that square.
They're far away from each other.
Stay out of my square.
Amazing. And so you would not do it. Have her sign one.
No.
And Joel, you said you would because Joel owned a lot of things, land and all that. You said you would not do it.
I would hope that I wouldn't, but I would say
I
no.
would hope that I would not. Now he going to hope.
No, I
Open
was.
one hand.
I
Faith.
say no.
My
I would
brothers.
not do it because if I'm not being able to make sure that she wouldn't do that, then beta, I'd be a beta.
Dang.
So you would not have her sign
I
one.
would not. If I have to make her sign one, I failed.
How about if she had you jumping out of a plane?
Well, see, that's different. No, I'm no, I wouldn't. I would hope I wouldn't have to sign one, or else I didn't do my job
What's your job?
to make sure I married the right person.
Oh. Nick, would you do a prenuptial? If you
Like the rappers and athletes I take example from, yes, because she wasn't there before I made all this money, and she might not be there after. I've heard that a lot, like from rappers.
what a mess.
Personally, my real answer is I honestly don't know. I'm gonna wait and see, but I don't know if I'd set myself up for like, I don't know if that's the right term, but I don't know. I don't like going into things thinking it's gonna fail. So like setting myself up for
Because that's what it says.
Right.
If you have a woman to sign a prenuptial,
that.
you're already thinking this thing is not going to work.
That's what I don't.
When you get married, you're not supposed to have in your mindset that it's not going to work. I understand the society screwed up and why they do it, but it seems like a setup to even think that way. In the good old days when boys were boys, I never heard of prenuptial. Number one, when men and women got married, it's for a lifetime. So you don't think about, it's not your mindset because so as a man thinketh, so as he is, right?
But women weren't empowered in the good old days.
They're not powered now either.
But they're
got back.
empowered
They're not empowered now. They're just
in the
thinking.
worldly sense.
They got
Yeah.
all sorts of backup plans.
You're right.
now.
Yeah.
And if someone broke up, I'm trying to think, did I know anyone who broke up when I was growing up?
I think if you're rich, you're supposed to do it.
But you shouldn't.
Most of the men and women that I know that got married, they end up dying from each other and they didn't have a divorce.
Right.
The other woman died, you not to own it, other stuff.
Right.
I just got this dirty answer. Not like dirty in that way. Why would God send me a wife that I'd need to get a prenuptial with?
Oh, Lord.
Well, right, because
I sound like Chris.
Observer.
The great observer. Yes, Joe.
no, I was saying I hope I wouldn't marry a empowered woman. You would know, like, okay, well, they're empowered now. Well, if she's empowered, I don't want her.
Right, because you're not going to make for a good wife and mother, period.
What is all this hoping? What is apply the vetting process, observe, and it's done.
I always say, I'm
Apply
gonna explain
the
my hope.
strong
I'm gonna explain
hand.
my hope.
Y'all ain't going to never get married.
Apply the force.
The strong hand of God.
This is from D-Live. D-Live. Power That Bear says, no prenuptials. Just means the marriage is bound to fail. I agree. Because if you got to sign a prenuptial, and I'm not telling you guys to or not to, but I'm just saying, it's like you already have the mindset that it's not going to work. It might not work. So when you get with the preacher and the preacher asks the question, do you promise to love through thick and thin, through the ups and the downs, health and sickness, until death do you part? If you say yes, you don't mean that if you got a prenuptial.
She doesn't mean it.
But the man doesn't either because he's the one that had her sign it.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. Mask off.
James is getting a prenup.
But it seems like
Hands
how
up,
do you
mask
not-
off.
How do you not see? But I mean, I kind of see what.
Don't say Nazi.
What he's saying. Nazi.
What do you not see?
But how
Dog,
do you
what's
not see? You would hope that you would see, especially if you're waking up. You would hope that you would see that wouldn't be the case. But that's why I keep saying hope, is because how many times didn't Jesus say? Peter said, "You'll deny me 3 times, not once." 1, 2, and 3. So that's why I say hope, because you hope that you would do the right thing. You hope that you could see, but
And what does that have to do with
because
marriage?
well, because women have that spell, and you could
You put a spell on me.
have a moment of weakness and make the wrong decision. So I kind of get what Jim's saying, but with the idea of waking up, that shouldn't be the case.
I believe if men and women did it the right way from the beginning, in the dating part, get to know each other, get married, I don't think you would need a prenuptial because you both would know what you're getting. But because you have sex before marriage, you don't know what you're getting. And that's why I end up in a divorce, because sex is not love.
So if you have sex before marriage, you should get a prenup.
Yeah, have the prenup land on the table. Right next to the bed.
And have a copy in the safe
And you-
that she doesn't know about.
This is from D Live again. Desperado Dave says, if you get married, then you're a sucker. What the?
Well, there it is. No prenup needed.
Amazing. Well, anyway, you heard it from the experts, folks. My producer, Nick, the anchor baby, Hake with the good hair, and the host of the HakeReport.com, Joel, the founder of The Gifted of Dance, the owner of the giftedofdance.com, and my audio engineer, and Chris, the great observer. And he white. And also my social media guy. Y'all heard it from them. I appreciate it, guys. Brittany is a first-time caller out of Virginia. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Just Leave Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.